Hey guys, it's Luke Devsich here from Patient Rush, and today I have with me Dr. Ron Schefdore. Ron is originally from Chicago. He practiced for 37 years in Chicago, and now he's down in South Florida. So thanks a lot for coming on, Ron. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for asking me.
Awesome. Good to have you here. So give us a little bit of a background on sort of how you got into the dental industry and find yourself here today.
Well, dental industry, is you're either born with wanting to help people or you're not, and I always liked to help people. So I knew something in the health field was something for me. And then I found out by taking the dental exam, I was extremely good with my hands and perceptions. And I kind of like to tinker around with stuff, and I'm kind of a nerd. So dentistry was kind of a natural for me. And so, my wife and I, she's an accountant type. We started off in dentistry thinking bigger is better and let's make a business out of this. So over 17 years, we had 3 locations, 6 doctors, and a staff of 30. And financially, we were doing really, really well, but it was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. I mean, you would think being in the top 0.5% in the country in income,
yes,
maybe it was better than that everything would be good, but it wasn't. And the reason is because I didn't go into dentistry to see how much money I was making. So I don't know, it was a stupid business model to see, I don't know what I was trying to do here. So I had to really do some soul searching and go back to what made me feel good. And it's using my own skills and creativity in helping people and helping them get healthier, and then worrying about the income secondarily. And so I sold that business after 17 years and did really good, and custom made and set up a program, a solo practice for myself to practice exactly the way I wanted. And it was like a dream job for the last 20 years.
Amazing. That is so cool. That is so cool on so many levels because, not just from a business perspective, like the reason we got Ron on today is we want to speak about with everyone experiencing difficulty with COVID and stuff, Ron, his model, which we're going to speak on a little bit now, it sounds to me like it spawned from you wanting to follow your heart and do what felt right for you. And then you've stumbled upon a way of doing business that actually is more profitable and just a better business to run. Yeah,
this has been pretty interesting this year because this business model I'm going to describe is recession proof. And now it's hygienist proof. In other words, I never worked with a hygienist and made double the profits of most dentists in America. And you go, how could that possibly be true? And so I'll describe it if you want me to take a minute.
Please.
How this works.
Please.
Okay, and because a lot of dentists are contacting me to train them, I'm training them now how to do this business model, and they're doing good.
If you could also just start off by explaining how the normal clinic looks, and then we've got two, like, very clear on the contrast.
Okay, so the typical dentist will have 1, 2, 3 hygienists, and they will be doing a restorative procedure, and the hygienist would buzz them or whatever thing that they have in their office, and he'd have to go do a hygiene check and come back and do another restorative patient, and basically he's bouncing and she's bouncing around all day long. And so when you do that, you lose focus. And when you go do the hygiene check, you're only in there for a minute. So every dental office that I went into after the doctor did his 1-minute hygiene check, I seen thousands of dollars worth of work to do that I actually sold to the patient because I spent an extra 10, 15 minutes in there with them. And I proved it to doctors over and over again that, you can't have your attention being taken away when you're focused like that. It's exhausting, first of all, mentally, just exhausting. And if you want to take a break from treatment, you certainly don't go into the next room and entertain a patient and do some more work and then come back. This is ludicrous. I don't know how that became normal in dentistry. So what I did is I took the craziness out of it after I sold my practices, and I said, I don't ever want to be bothered. Just leave me alone. So I'll see a restorative patient for 1, 2, or 3 hours, and then we'll do a recare patient after that, and then we'll do another restorative patient. And with this business model, you only need about 500 to 600 patients. Most dentists have 12 to 1,500 to 3,000 patients. You can't possibly do comprehensive, important dentistry that you want to do when you're seeing that many people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So on a recare visit, this is the key, is that the dentist sees the recare patient. And for the first half hour, I do the perio charting. I take with my SoPro camera. If you don't know what it is, look it up. SoPro camera, intraoral camera. I take pictures, and I'm ultrasonic cleaning every tooth in every pocket. So I'm able to see the cracks, the defective fillings, things that I would never see on a real quick exam. And a lot of dentists depend on their hygienist. The hygienists haven't been to school as long as us. They're not geared to make treatment plans. That's the wrong person to do your diagnosing for you. So very closely, I put everything on TV, show it to the patient, tell them what the choices are, and then say, you know, it's about $100 a month with no interest. Your insurance will pay about $600. Would you like me to get going with it? And all day long, I will sell more and more cases and more comprehensive dentistry that I actually want to do. So that's the first 30 minutes, and then I leave. My certified dental assistant or regular dental assistant, depending on the laws of your state, does the polishing, fluoride treatment, sealants, x-rays. They explain products, show them how to use it, and then answer questions that they're required or can answer by law. You know, there's some questions they can't. They have to get me back there. But, you know, when you do that, how ridiculous this is if exam cleaning and fluoride is $200, let's say, I'm in there for a half hour. That's $400 an hour just for me just cleaning teeth and basically doing nothing. Now, I'll do same-day dentistry and maybe get one filling in there. Well, now we're making $600 an hour. Well, guys, at the end of the day, that's a $4,000 or $5,000 day doing just this, nothing else. At a 50% overhead, that's $2,500. You work 4 days a week. Guys, that's almost $500,000 a year doing nothing else. I don't know why dentists haven't figured this out. Why am I the only one that's doing this? Yeah,
it's beautiful. Well, it's obviously required getting down to the numbers, breaking down, you know, what's going into the time, what's coming out, and really looking at it objectively. I think a lot of people running, you know, dental clinics and other sort of medical clinics, the day-to-day busyness doesn't allow for this kind of dissection but it's beautiful what you're saying. Makes so much sense.
And well, the busyness is pretty interesting because who makes their schedule? Why are they scheduling so busy? I mean, when I have a restorative patient, I'm let's say 2-3 hours, well, no one else gets in there. And that's the beautiful thing, why you don't need a ton of patients. You don't need to be busy. That Walmart mentality.
Yes.
How does that, what do you mean you got to be busy every second of the day? That's just not true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, it's the understanding around the value of your time and the value, you know, in the short, medium term of a patient. Like if you don't stop to think about it, you say, well, let's get as many as we can through. But when you stop and look at it doesn't add up.
No.
Yeah.
Now, though, so when COVID came along and hygienists were really tough to really find, I mean, a lot of them are leaving the profession. You know, dentists are scrambling now going, well, how am I going to do this? I don't want to clean teeth. I don't clean teeth. I basically find problems, tell the patients the alternatives, and make sure they can, you know, find a treatment plan they can afford, and I move on. I mean, I don't polish teeth. I don't fluoridate them. I don't do any of that. I mean, I don't know. Dentistry's just got a lot of misinformation.
Yeah, it's interesting. We, you know, for the clients that we run campaigns for, one of our oldest clients actually, like now with him, we only do cosmetic. We only do veneers and implants. That's all he does. And
wow.
And that's for him because he loves it. And also it's, you know, he can make the most money and do the type of work that he wants to do. And that's, you know, with a little bit of planning and setting things up right, it's totally possible. Yeah.
I didn't want to see children. It isn't because I hate them. I just couldn't stand hurting them.
Sure.
I'd just rather not even see them. And I didn't want to work evenings and weekends. And, you know, I just like to do crown and bridge and restorative cases and get people healthier with We have an advanced perio program that we address the systemic issues, nutritional issues, send them to the physician, and 10% of them have diabetes and don't even know it. So, we have a nice advanced program. It makes you feel really good when you could not only get their teeth and oral health in good condition, but now I'm improving their overall health too.
Yeah, fantastic. So Ron, you mentioned to me briefly before that you're consulting dentists now on this, for want of a better term, like business model or way of operating your clinic. How does that look if someone wants to reach out and work with you? How does that program look in terms of you helping them, install into their clinic what you were successful doing for so many years?
Well, what I would do is, let's just have a consultation. I'm retired, and financially we did great. I don't have to work. I didn't even think I was going to work. I thought I was going to be retired. But so many dentists have gotten a hold of me and said, can you please show us this business model? And you hear their stories, and it breaks your heart. I think I owe it to our profession to show them a way that they can flourish without a hygienist, and they can slow down and they can make more income. And so I'm starting to do that. So if they want to go to our Pharmadent site, that's PHARMAD like in David, EN like in nickel.net, pharmadent.net / my calendar. Just make a free consultation with me and let's tell you your story. I'll give you a lot of tips. You don't have to use me out of that. After that, I'll do this totally for free. I'm going to give you a business education in 45 minutes, way better than any dental school did in years. And free of charge. I'll give you thousands and thousands of that, $10,000 worth of consultation for free. And you decide what you want to do after that. But I could at least get you on the right track and explain what you need to do. So, do that. And I'll be happy to talk to anybody.
Fantastic. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, we'll put the link in above or somewhere around this video. And I would, from just what I've heard, Ron, I would implore people to take you up on the call, because I know, within our business, every time we've gone to someone who's done what we want to do and has the fast track, so to speak, or has just a proven formula, it's amazing how much time and heartache and effort and failure that can save you, So,
what I like? Most dentists aren't leaders, and most dentists don't like to administrate a lot of people. But yet with the hygiene model, or 2 hygienists, or maybe more, you have a bigger facility, bigger staff, bigger headaches, everything is bigger. And that's all the stuff that dentists don't want to do. They just want to treat people and get them well. So this program, I had 3 cross-trained CDAs, certified dental assistants. And that's all you need. And it's actually kind of fun to manage only 3 people in a 2 to 4 chair practice. It's a dream job. Yeah. And you can take time off anytime you want, because you don't have to worry about a hygiene schedule. I took 6 weeks off. It was a dream for 2 decades.
It's amazing, because at the end of the day, there's 2 things, isn't there? I think in any type of business, this is what I believe anyway. The first one is you want to help people, and the second one is you want to make a living and you want to be successful. So you can achieve those 2 things in a more efficient way. It's just a no-brainer. So what comes to mind as well with what you're saying is the 80-20 rule. I don't know if you've thought through how that applies, but it seems to me that what you're saying is a classic 80-20 around time, effort, income.
Yep. Yeah, you could do the easiest thing in the world, which is talking to a patient and doing show and tell, and still make $500-600 an hour. How does it get any better than that? Why would you have a hygienist? That's the easiest thing to do in the world. You go home refreshed. You're not beat up and tired. These poor doctors, the stories I'm hearing, they're seeing 20, 30, 40 patients a day. Oh my God, why are they doing this? And they're getting 1/3 the income that I'm getting. I almost feel guilty about
it. Wow, gosh. This is great. This has been fantastic. I want to speak to my clients about this. All right, Ron. So just to wrap up, over and above what we've spoken about around, the business model, is there anything else, whether within what we're talking about here or outside of it, that, you know, with all your years experience and success in the industry, is there anything else that you would say to someone who's either trying to get to that next level, who's just starting out?
Don't buy all the bells and whistles. You don't need this big dental, you know, a lot of staff and all the hygienists and this big model. It's great for hygienists. And I have nothing against hygienists. I have something against the business model, but not hygienists. Hygienists are great, but unfortunately the business model for the dentist is not good. But, you know, you got corporate dentistry pushing it. You got hygienists pushing this. You've got the equipment salespeople pushing this model. But nobody is watching out for the dentist and what the dentist has to go through with that model. So start off with 2 chairs. Get 2 used chairs, recover them with extra ultra soft leather. They look brand new. You don't have to spend a ton of money to open up an office. It has to be clean. Put a granite top on your front desk. It doesn't cost that much money, and a nice wood veneer. Hire a decorator. A decorator will make it look like a 5-star hotel, and you don't have to spend, you know, this $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 to open up a 2 or 3 chair office. It's crazy. You don't have to do any of that. You can do that for a fraction of that. Buy used equipment, repaint it, reuse it. It'll last for years. What you have to get is the business model down and your communication skills down. And then knowing how to hire just 3 key people. One for the front, one for the back, and one that bounce in between. And if someone's sick, well, you still have 2 people there. So that's I could start any dentist up. And then marketing, obviously. Marketing today, as you know, has changed dramatically in the last 5-10 years. What I used to do, put a flyer in a newspaper, go on TV, you know, radio, postcards, none of that stuff works anymore. You have to go digital, and you have to go on multiple platforms, and you have to know all the algorithms and the changes, and it's tough to keep up with, but you have to go where the eyeballs are.
Yeah, dead right.
So spend money on marketing and get a good marketer that's proven in our field. Marketing in the camera, SoPro, SOPRO. It'll tell you decay. It'll show up red before before your eyes could see it, and the patient sees it, so they know you're not fibbing to them. And you say, hey, the computer's picking it up. It makes you look good. Makes you like very transparent. So a camera, a couple of chairs, used equipment, get a decorator there and make it look good, make sure it's really clean, and just do great work and care about people. Take your time with them.
There you have it. That's fantastic. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And I'll just add to what you're saying too on the marketing. One key thing to focus on as well is when you speak to marketers, make sure that the focus is on appointments, because people talk a lot about leads, this, leads, that, but if you're getting thousands of leads and no one's turning up, it's a waste of time. So it's super important that whoever does your marketing is focused on appointments and making sure people turn up, because that's what you want, you know?
Yeah, and, you know, there's like the marketer that I had, if anybody wants to, you know, talk about marketing, the marketer that I had kept me out of all the plans. But, you know, she did all the follow-up phone calls, all the follow-up, made the appointments. And then she said, hey, oh, by the way, there's a $50 fee if you don't show up. Now, we didn't have their credit card. We didn't know anything about them, but we still said it. And you know what? Most of them showed up.
Amazing.
So you can tell them that, you know, there's a $50 no-show fee. Well, they go, how do you know? You know, my address or blah. Well, it's on Facebook. Well, we never knew, but.
Yeah.
People
probably wouldn't ask that question anyway. They would just take it at face value, and it's fair enough. Like it's you know, it's time, it's your time, and if they truly want the help, then yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you have the hard part I thought about leads and digital today is qualifying them.
Yeah.
So we did ask them too, you know, do you have Medicare? You know, and then we'd have to say, and a good part of them did, probably 20% of them. Mm-hmm. You know, we'd have to say, okay, are you aware that Medicare does not cover any of this? So now, you know, there's a good percentage of them that seem to have a lot of money and are scamming the system. So, oh yeah, that's no problem at all. Well, what do you mean no problem? You got plenty of money. Yeah, oh yeah, but they're getting Medicare. So, yeah, you know, don't think just because they have Medicare they don't have any money.
Yes, yeah. Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you so much, Ron. Really appreciate your time. And we'll have a link to Ron's website if anyone wants to reach out to him and find out about how he ran his clinic to be much more profitable than the average clinic, with a lot more time and a lot less headache, and being able to do, run the kind of clinic that he wants to run. So thanks.
I don't know why a dentist would want to do it any differently.
There you go. And that's said from a man who's retired. He's done what he needs to do. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll give you a plan on how you can retire early, and which I did. And most dentists today, they're lucky to retire by the time they're 68. I mean, you want to retire at 55 or 60? I'll show you exactly how to do it.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, there you go. Thank you so much, Ron. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Cheers.